Today, I'll be explaining about the Hindu editorial Wounded Mountains. Tourist tragedy in Himachal Pradesh points to the importance of preserving ecology. So, a tragic event relating to tourists had happened in Himachal Pradesh, and this once again it points that it remembers all of us once again that preserving the ecology is an important thing. The tragic death of 9 tourists in a landslip in Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh is another pointer to the fragility of the ecology of the Himalayan states. So, as we all know, Himalayas are a part of India, and any mountain terrain, like just like Himalayas, are extremely unstable and dangerous. If, so, basically, they're fragile. They're very sensitive. So, if they're not taken care properly, they can cause a lot of damage. And due to a similar event, nine nine tourists had died because of a tragic event that happened in Himachal Pradesh. Extraordinarily, heavy rain pummeled the state recently, leaving the hill slopes unstable and causing floods in built-up areas, including Dharmasala. So, recently there has been heavy rain. Here they use the word pummeled. Means usually to hit something really hard repeatedly. So here it can be taken as heavy rain occurred. And the heavy rain occurred recently in the state of Himachal Pradesh. And due to the heavy rain, all the hill slopes are covered with water. This made the hills very unstable. So they caused floods even in built-up areas, even in the areas of high ground. That is, the descending boulders from the destabilized terrain, which crushed the bridge like a matchstick, are a source of worry even for cautious local residents and for unwary visitors, such as the tourists traveling in a van. They can turn into sudden disaster. So, as the water made the mountains or the Himalayas very unstable, no one is safe. No one, even the local residents, who always take precautions and various cautions to stay alive or to avoid such problems, and especially tourists who are unaware, who will be absolutely surprised by these new problems. No one of them is safe, no matter how many precautions they take, because these attacks or these landslides are inevitable. We have not been taking proper care of the mountains recently, and this is a consequence of that. Himachal is famed for its scenic vistas and welcoming summer climate, and drew a few 100,000 tourists in June this year as states began relaxing the controls for COVID-19. So the tourism in Himachal Pradesh this year was very high, especially in the month of June, because this year the protocols or the restrictions or the travel restrictions due to COVID-19 have been decreased. So the tourism obviously increased a lot in Himachal Pradesh or in India. There was justified alarm. There was justified alarm at the prospect of a fresh surge in the infections, prompting Chief Minister Jairam Thakur to appeal for the COVID-19 appropriate behavior. So there was justified alarm, means there was a clear warning that the cases or the infections of COVID-19 may have a huge rise again. So the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh took the necessary precautions and told everyone to maintain COVID-19 aware behavior. Unfortunately, there was not enough vigil against travel to risky areas in the wake of the disastrous year for tourism, resulting in a mishap in Kena's Basteri area. Unfortunately, there was not enough vigil. So, due to the COVID-19 problem, everyone was so caught up in the cases of COVID-19 and the virus that they didn't give much importance or much observance, or they didn't notice the problems of landslides in Himachal Pradesh. What should worry Himachal and the neighboring Uttarakhand is that the states may be entering a phase of irreversible decline because of losses of their ecology. Frequent landslides may become inevitable. So now the main problem, which the states like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and all the neighboring states should be worried of is that the problem of instability of the mountains. The mountains are currently very unstable, and flash floods, means sudden floods or landslides, can happen anytime. We don't know. We don't know how to prevent them, or at least how to stay safe from them. So, and also these are inevitable, this cannot be stopped. Bootstrapping, an incompatible model of development in the hills, represented by big hydroelectric projects and large scale construction activity involving destruction of forests and damming of rivers, is an invitation to harm. So, we are already facing a hard time with these landslides. And in addition to that, bootstrapping an incompatible model. So, bootstrapping means to do something which is impossible. So, making incompatible models of big hydroelectric projects. So, building these types of projects which are entirely incompatible with the terrain of mountain is extremely dangerous. A large scale construction activity, in addition to the hydroelectric projects, the large scale construction activities also have the same effect of forests, and damming of rivers is an invitation to harm. So, these types of activities are an invitation to harm, which means that we already are facing a hard time, and if we do these projects, we are we are literally seeing the harm to come. Mega hydropower, which Himachal Pradesh is working to tap as a significant source of green power, the substitutes energy from fossil fuels, could alter several aspects of ecology, rendering it vulnerable to the effects of extreme events such as cloudbursts, flash floods, landslides, and earthquakes. Um, so, mega hydropower, which means the electric power from water. So, which Himachal Pradesh is working to tap a significant source of green energy. So, means Himachal Pradesh, many factories or many projects are set up to for hydropower, so that this can be a source of green power instead of taking the fuel or power from fossil fuels like coal, oil, petroleum, and etc. But this obviously has one advantage. It encourages green power, but it has one disadvantage too, and that disadvantage is something that we all know. These hydroelectric projects or these factories, their designs are completely incompatible with the terrain of the mountains in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and the neighboring states. So, if these are built, if these hydro plants are built, it won't be safe for the people who are living there. It's already not safe right now, and if we build this, we are just increasing the chance of landslides. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Energy during 2018 to 19 noted that the state could hold more than double its existing harnessed power potential of 10,547 megawatts. So basically, the state of Himachal Pradesh, it currently holds an energy of 10,547 megawatts. It's saying that it's not actually its full potential. It's not its full capacity. If it wants, it can hold more than double the capacity. Kinnaur is a focus point for such development, centered around the potential for the glacially fed Sutlej Valley. But one scientific estimate warns that a various tapping of the river through all planned projects would impound nearly a quarter of its water in the dams and divert a staggering 72% through tunnels. Um, so I just said that the state of Himachal Pradesh, it can hold more than what it's holding right now. It can hold more energy than what it's holding right now. Right now it holds about 10,547 megawatts. So it can hold more than double of it. But to do so, we obviously need to construct the buildings and projects or factories for that. And if we do so, the source of the water will be the Sutlej Valley. So the water will be taken continuously from the Sutlej Valley. This might seem like a good thing for the green power, but if this comes to application, uh, more amount of water will be taken away from the river of Sutlej Valley, and in small amount of time, the 72% of the water of the river will be used up by the power plant. Over other researchers studying the 2015 Nepal earthquake point to high seismicity causing fatal landslides and severe damage to hydropower structures in the Himalayas. The cost of the power produced was underestimated, while the potential was overestimated. Some scientists have studied the 2015 Nepal earthquake, and they have said that the region of Himalayas, the region of near the Himalayas, the Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Nepal, all these areas have high seismic activity. So it means that the frequency of the probability of an earthquake happening there is high, and also the cost of the power produced was underestimated. Means this hydroelectric power which we have been talking about, the cost of this power was underestimated. Means it will take even more money than we imagined, while the potential was overestimated. The amount of energy we could derive from it was overestimated. Means we gave, so basically uh, it gave a lot of it seems very promising, but it is not very promising. Evidently, it is impossible to assign a real value to the cost of people and communities, together with the loss of pristine forests that weak afforestation programs cannot replace. So even if we take up these projects, which would be completely irresponsible, because well, it has a lot of disadvantages. So even if we take up these projects, the loss of many lives, the loss of families, the loss of communities, the loss of regions, and the loss of clean and fresh forests, that loss is just too high. So we cannot do these projects. As catastrophic weather events inflict frequent heavy losses, Himachal Pradesh and other Himalayan states can only watch their ecological base erode. Changing course may yet preserve a lot of their natural riches. So currently, the states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, they cannot do anything. The landslides or the flash floods are inevitable. We cannot do anything to stop them. But we can take some actions to stop such disasters from happening in the near future. Thank you.